Asante Sana Warden. All right, everyone, as we say here in Harambe Twin Day, which means let's go. Jumbo, and welcome aboard Kilimanjaro Safaris, everyone. My name is Zach, and I will be your safari guide through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve today. Just a few things before we head on in. Please stay seated at all times, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck throughout the entire adventure. Also hold on to all personal belongings like cameras, phones, hats, as if they were to fall out of the vehicle. I'm not allowed to exit and retrieve those items for any reason. Alright guys, please do not switch seats now at this time. Alright, looks like we've been given the all clear to head right on in. Just one more thing before we enter here, everyone. Just stay as quiet as possible. Don't call out or whistle at the animals. We want to try and keep them as close to the trucks here as possible. Alright, looks like our adventure is going to begin right here in the Little Iteri Forest. The animals here like to use camouflage to blend into their surroundings. Let's see what we can spot out here. And rather immediately, this bird right here to the right-hand side of the truck is a saddle-billed stork. Saddle-billed storks can get to be 5 feet tall, and their wingspan can get 9 feet wide. They also do not vocalize, they'll actually talk to one another by rattling their bills together. Also right off to the right-hand side over there are some okapi. Okapis are shy and reclusive animals. They really like to stay to themselves. You also may have noticed those white stripes on its legs, which may make you think it resembles a zebra, but it's actually a relative of the giraffe. The okapi were thought to be mythical creatures until the year 1901, when they were discovered by Westerners, but many African civilizations knew the okapi existed for many generations before then. It's going to be way off to the left-hand side, up top over there. There is a black rhino hanging out up there.
Rhino.
Now, black rhinos only have about 5,000 black rhinos left in the world to this day due to poaching for their horns. They can also weigh up to 3,000 pounds. They also have keratin inside of their horns, which us humans have keratin somewhere in our bodies as well. Would anyone know where? It'd be in our hair as well as our fingernails. Off to the right-hand side here, you're going to see the ghosts of the forest. These are bongo right over here. Now, bongos get their name because they're rarely ever seen. The horns on the top of their heads are angled backwards, which will actually help them move very silently through the brushes of the forest here. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see, but right to the left, hiding in the brush, there is a greater kudu hanging out in there. They're a little bit more gray in coloring. Now the greater kudus, they can weigh up to 750 pounds, also rarely ever seen, as they like to hang out way deep in the thickets of the forest. Looks like we're going to be coming up on the Safi River here shortly. Definitely keep a lookout. You may spot some of your favorite animals like hippos and Nile crocodiles up ahead here. In fact, there is a hippo off to the right-hand side right over here. Hippos are some of the largest creatures in the entire world. They can also remain submerged underwater for about 8 minutes at a time before coming up and taking a breath. Hippos actually do not swim as well. They'll actually walk and run underneath the bottoms of the water here. Now these birds swimming in the water right here with these long beaks to them, these are actually pink-backed pelicans right here. Pink-backed pelicans will get their name because their tail feathers turning pink during mating season. Now, these birds also like to hang out in colonies of 20 to 500. left-hand side. As we cross this bridge right here, definitely take a look. There are some Nile crocodiles hanging out right over here. Now, Nile crocodiles, they can live to be about 40 years old. Also having some of the strongest jaw strength out of any creature around. Breaking bones of their prey with just one snap of their jaw. But they're also some really great parents. Fathers and mothers will put their eggs inside their mouths, swoosh the eggs around a little bit. They'll actually encourage their eggs to hatch, and for their young Nile crocodile there to be born. Looks like we're going to be leaving the little Terry forest behind here shortly, coming right up on the savannah. Definitely keep a lookout. You may spot some of your favorite animals like giraffes, zebras, and elephants right up ahead. As we make this turn, definitely take a look to your right-hand side here. On the right-hand side there, that is a baobab tree right there. Now, baobab trees are nicknamed the upside-down tree because branches there look like roots. Baobab trees can also remain leafless for 9 months out of the entire year, storing a lot of water inside of them as well.
Whoa, they are ginormous. Wow.
As we make this turn right around here onto the right-hand side and around this area, looks like we have a tower of Maasai giraffe hanging out here. Now, a tower is what we like to call a group of giraffes. They're actually the tallest creatures in the entire world, growing to be about 18 to 20 feet tall. They'll also spend most of their day standing up, including sleeping. They will only sleep about 30 minutes a day, and the rest of the day is usually spent eating, kind of like the one on the right-hand side up here is trying to do. Definitely take a look off to the left-hand side right over here inside this cave. Looks like there's a clan of spotted hyenas right up ahead here. Now, the spotted hyenas right here, they'll actually mark their territory with their scent. They're very, very loud creatures. When they vocalize, they can actually be heard for miles. Also, the spotted hyenas right there. The females are actually in charge of the clans of spotted hyenas. The lowest ranking female is actually higher than the highest ranking male. As we come around here, definitely take a look at the coats of the giraffes. You may be able to tell that the coats are very much unique to every single individual giraffe. No two spotting patterns are ever the same. Looks like we have some giraffes running off to the left-hand side here. When giraffes run, they can usually run at a top speed of 35 miles per hour. They can walk at a cruising speed of about 10 miles per hour as well.
Are they playing tag?
Yeah, we got a sable antelope running over here as well. Anyways, with the coats, oh, we got another one running. Or it looks like it decided to slow down. But anyways, the giraffe's coats here are very much unique to every single individual giraffe. Similar to how fingerprints on humans are very much unique to all of us. Like I mentioned just a little bit earlier, these animals right here on top of this hill here are sable antelopes. Now, they are actually the emblem here at the Harambe Wildlife Preserve. Those sharp horns of theirs are what they use to protect themselves, as well as together in courtship dominances to see which sable antelope is more dominant over the other. On to the right hand side over here, looks like there's a dazzle of Hartman's mountain zebra hanging out. Now zebras, the group is called a dazzle. Also, the stripes are very much unique to every single zebra out here. There's also some wildebeest hanging out there. Those are the gray animals right there. The animals way off in the distance, the brown and white animals, those are springbok back there. Also, this animal very close to us here are Ankole cattle, also known as Watusi cattle. Those long horns on the cattle there can grow to be about 3 to 4 feet long in length. And the horns inside the Ankole cattle actually are blood vessels that resemble the look of honeycomb. The blood vessels inside the horns will actually help cool down the cattle here on these hot and humid days. The springbok we saw a little bit further back, they're actually the top 10 fastest land animals in the entire world. They're able to go 50 to 60 miles per hour, and when they're running forward, they can leap 14 feet forward at a time. Coming up on your left hand side here very shortly, it looks like there's going to be some mandrills hanging out over here, which mandrills are actually the largest monkeys in the world. If you look out to the left, you may catch a glimpse of a baby mandrill up there. Now you may notice the coloration on their faces and their bottoms. Males have the brightest coloration, will actually get even more brighter as the mandrill gets more excited. Now the wildebeest that we saw just a little bit ago, when they sleep at night, they can sleep in a long straight row. That is because if a predator would approach them at night, they could jump up really quickly, run straight ahead without crashing into each other. Also, up to 1.5 million wildebeest will actually migrate 500 to 1,000 miles every single year. Now here at Disney's Animal Kingdom, we pride ourselves every single day on our mission to help conserve, protect, defend all of the animal species all around the world and their natural habitats. So we do partner with research projects here from time to time. One of those research projects is something called the Elephants and Bees Project. Now what that is elephants over in Africa got very well known to go into farmers' farmlands, ruin their crops as well as eat the crops. Now you may imagine this did not make farmers over in Africa very happy, and it did affect the elephant population just a little bit. As you can see, there are some elephants right out to the left. See if we can catch a closer look. So researchers actually came over here to Disney's Animal Kingdom, see if they could find a solution to the problem. And what they found out while listening to these elephants here is that elephants are actually afraid of bees. Now, the researchers headed right back over to Africa, started putting beehives and fences around the farmers' farmlands. This actually really helped the elephants to stay away, preserve their population. Also made the farmers really happy as they were able to maintain a stable income. Let's see if I can catch a better glimpse of these elephants for you guys. Now, if you were to see the ears on the elephant flapping up here, you may notice that they will actually trigger some blood vessels right around the ears, which will help cool down the elephant about 15 degrees. Right off to the left-hand side, there is an African elephant. Also, the trunks of the elephant are very, very strong. We'll often use them to move large objects, help them eat, as well as throw dirt and mud onto their backs. The dirt and the mud will actually act as a natural sunblock there for the elephants. Also right off to the left-hand side, right over here, is a flamboyance of greater flamingos. Now the greater flamingos right here are actually the lightest pink flamingos in the entire world. They'll actually get their pink coloration from their diet as when they're born. They're born a little bit more gray in coloring. They like to eat brine shrimp, and the shrimp will help them give them that pink coloring of theirs. Also, flamingos will spend their whole lives right there on that one single source of water. They will rarely ever migrate. There's only two reasons why you'll ever see them leave that one single source of water. One, if they were to run out of food, or two, if the watering level there was to get very, very low. Now there is something called a mud pit here off to the left-hand side. I know it's not necessarily too exciting, but there are animals that like to hang out around the mud, roll around in the mud, so it's a great sign. We may spot some more animals right up ahead here. Right off to the left-hand side, laying down kind of under the trees there. You're gonna see some cheetahs right over there. Now cheetahs are the fastest land mammals in the entire world, going 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. But they can only keep that top speed of theirs for a few hundred yards before they actually have to slow down. Also, cheetahs will actually do most of their hunting during the day. That's because they're not the strongest predators here in Africa. If they were to hunt at night, they could still catch their prey. Ah, there's another cheetah off to the left-hand side over there. They could still catch their prey if they were to hunt at night. But since they're not the strongest predators, they could get beat out for their prey by bigger cats such as lions for the food that they just caught. Lions are nocturnal animals and like to do their hunting at night. So it's much more beneficial for those cheetahs there to hunt during the day for that reason there. This rock formation here off to the left-hand side is something what we like to call Kopi rocks. Now, Kopi rocks are great places to potentially spot some animals that like to lay out and survey over the entire savanna. Off to the right-hand side over here, you're going to see a crash of white rhinos hanging out over there. Now, a crash is what we like to call a group of rhinos, actually larger than the black rhino we saw earlier, weighing 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. Fortunately, they are also poached for those horns of theirs. Coming up here on the left-hand side are going to be two types of antelopes. The one on the left is going to be a bontebok, and the one on the right here is going to be called a waterbuck. Now the bontebok right there, they actually are mostly extinct in the wild and can only be found on reserves like this one. That is because that brown skin of theirs has been poached. If they were to have sunshine on their brown skin, it can actually make their skin look like it has a purplish gloss to it, which sadly made it very popular for poachers. Also, the bontebok is actually related to the wildebeest we saw a little bit further back. On to the left-hand side, it's kind of walking away from us, heading to the left there. There are some warthogs right up here. Oh, right there. There's also one right behind the log over here. Now, warthogs right there, they're actually related to the domestic pigs. There's also another warthog sleeping in this burrow over here, since they are actually the largest burrowing animals here in Africa. Thought to take burrows that other animals created and use them as their own. Now the water buck that we saw a little bit further back there, they're actually one of the few antelopes that really like to drink a lot of water. And similar to the flamingos, they'll find one single source of water after they're born and spend their whole lives right around that one single source of water. Now way off in the back there, you're going to see another white rhino out there. That's actually a baby rhino born here about 9 months ago now. Now definitely take a look at the mouth of the white rhino there. You may be able to tell that their mouths are very, very wide. It's actually how they get their name. The Afrikaans word for wide is white with a B. As you may have noticed, they like to be a little bit more gray in coloring. Well, the white rhinos there were known to be white rhinos for once before, but they actually got their name misinterpreted as the word white, and that is actually how they got their name, just from a simple misinterpretation. Like we're coming up on the warden's post here, which may signify an end to your safari here in just a couple of minutes, but we're gonna see if we can spot just one more animal. And it looks like we already can. Right off to the left hand side here, these cute little creatures here, these are Nigerian dwarf goats. Now these goats, they're actually natives to West Africa, but can be found all over the world, usually on farmlands. The villagers here in Harambe will actually use these goats for their milk supply, want to drink, help them cook, as well as sell for their economy. Makes it so the villagers here in Harambe do not have to rely on many of the other animals that you've already seen today for all of those reasons there. Alright everyone, it does look like your safari will be coming to an end in just a couple of minutes. If you would like to see some more Africa animals, right where you will be exiting will be the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. There you may be able to spot some animals like gorillas and definitely check them out. There was a baby gorilla born here just about 2 weeks ago now. So definitely go see if the baby gorilla is out and about today. You can also see my personal favorite animal out there on the trail, which are the meerkats. Also, Disney does have the Disney Conservation Fund. Disney will use this fund to fund many research projects for these animals and their natural habitats, similar to the Elephants and Bees project that I mentioned a little bit earlier. If you would like to, you can actually donate to the Disney Conservation Fund at any Disney's Animal Kingdom merchandise location inside the park today. Disney would match your donation dollar for dollar, and you can also receive a commemorative button. Looks like we're going to be coming up to the unload platform here shortly, everyone. Here in Harambe, we actually never like to say goodbye. We actually like to say Kwaheri, which means to go well. If I've had any wilderness explorers on board this afternoon, you have been traveling on board the Simba 1. Again, my name is Zach. It was my absolute pleasure to take you around the Harambe Wildlife Preserve this afternoon. Hope you spotted many of your favorite African animals out there. Alright everyone, on your right hand side, please watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs as the doors will be opening here